Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Psychic Moms.
Hello, everyone.
We are Tammy and Julie. I don't know, Tammy, you want to introduce us?
Oh, sure. So we are two psychic moms, as Julie mentioned, and I'm Tammy Langowski, and I'm an intuitive advisor to questions that you pose to me. You can find me at tammysintuitive.com if you're interested in having a private session. I do a lot of channeled messages. You can check those out on Tammy's Intuitive Services Facebook page and Instagram. And I do have a Tammy's Channel Chat YouTube in addition to what Julie and I do here. So I will give it to you, Julie.
I'm Julie Hawkins, the biz psychic. I was listening to other stuff. I don't know what was going on in my head. Alla Ree was talking to me. That was just weird. Anyway, I'm Julie Hawkins, the biz psychic, and I do this work with Tammy. I do readings. I used to do messages that I put on my own biz psychic channel, and there's some really valuable information there. I just haven't done one in a long time. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, so Julie and I come on here as those of you who watch, our faithful viewers, thank you. But we like to come on and just open up to our guides, and sometimes we get questions from our viewers, and then we will, channel a message for that, and sometimes we just kind of open up. So we do have some today from Mr. Rudy. Thank you, Rudy.
He's Rudy. Really, I hope you never run out of I hope you have a never-ending source of questions for us.
I know. We rely on your questions because they're really good.
No.
I know. It takes me a while to even come up with some of my own.
I know, me too. It's a weird phenomenon, I think.
Yeah, we appreciate those very much. So we do have some. We're going to start off with one that Rudy had asked about, because we had mentioned before about near-death experience, I think in our last video, I believe. And so his question is it possible to experience near-death experience without the near-death part, just the experience? That's a really great question, right?
Yeah, and so, this will be the flipping of the flopping of the cat right here. That's Bella. We've kind of been hearing that for a couple of days now, and I think we answered it a little bit on our last program, but we'll go ahead and do it again here, which is, yes, it is. However, as humans, you are so consumed with daily life, as it should be, most of the time or much of the time, that to be quiet enough to be in that elevated vibration to connect with that information. And really what you're connecting with is source and or the universe, whatever that encompasses. And so it is possible. It absolutely is possible. And in fact, I had a teacher who she's still around. She was one of my teachers teaching me in the tuning forks and acutonics tuning forks. And she actually had a near-death experience. She was struck by lightning. And it was after that she became more fully aware of her gifts to receive, this higher vibrational information that we do. Her gifts are different. And so it is possible, though. It's just, it just happens a lot more rapidly when you're struck by lightning or, whatever your near-death experience is. It's just, that's the expressway to get that information, right? So
good way to put it, expressway. I like that. Yeah.
Lightning.
Yeah, and I we're in agreement for sure for everything that Julie just said. And what I hear too is that, it just takes, takes a lot of experience. And like you said, you hear those things, like you mentioned, Julie, of this person that you knew that has something really profound happen like that heightens their abilities. And they're very, tuned into sort of that other side. Well, they tell me there's still an essence of them in that dimension, that realm, whatever you want to call it. So I would, if I pose that question again to our guides, is it possible to have a NDE, we'll call it for acronym for near-death experience, without the near-death part, just the experience, with a lot of practice, they're saying again, experience, yes, anything is possible, isn't it? So there are many who would say, who would agree that this has happened to them and that they've had that. Now I know well, I say for myself, I don't know that I've had it to that level, but I certainly in a very good meditation. And when I first had that connection with my guides way back, and I've talked about that before, so I won't go into that again, but there, there's that feeling that's very, if not there, it's very close to it. And so I do agree that it's possible to have, I think with just sitting in a higher, I call it a higher vibration meditation, that might be possible, but it's not necessary for all. And they're even joking right now. They're saying, save some of the good stuff for when, when you actually do cross over and you transition.
Exactly. That is a specific purpose.
Yeah.
You're given that NDE for a specific purpose, usually to review your life and to maybe set you on a different course. That's what an NDE is or is for. But certainly those other there are other possibilities. So
yeah, really great.
If you want to read, I don't probably if you're into NDEs, you've read the books by Daniel Brinkley. He was struck by lightning not once but twice, and basically can hear people's thoughts. I mean, it's a burden and a gift, right? So, but he
amazing what that lightning can do. Huh?
Yeah.
So don't purposely go out and get struck by lightning. But wow.
But and I don't know that, can you purposely do? Well, I guess
I know. Yeah, good point.
Somebody would probably try, but don't.
Yeah, please don't.
Because you don't know if it'll kill you. It can kill you. But the capacity is there. That's the whole point of that. Our brains have that capacity. But his book is, I think it's Saved by the Light is what it's called. He wrote a follow-on one to that too, I think. But yeah, and he speaks all over probably all over the world. So, but it was a great book. It was really fun to read. I'll have to read it again. I think I gave it to somebody. All right. Was there more to that?
Not to that one. So we hope that, kind of answered a little bit of that for you. So the next one we have now, Rudy had sent us, there's a two-part kind of question to this. Rudy has sent us a really beautiful picture. I mean, if I help, I don't know how to do these things, but if I held my camera up, I don't think you get the gist of it, but it was a beautiful, magnificent light that he had taken from his window kind of thing. And he's got some beautiful, I have it on my phone, but I was just going to kind of look at it. It's towards the window, and it's just the whole vibe, bright, what do you want, prisms, maybe, of this beautiful light and other really interesting kind of things in it. I won't share it anyway, because I don't really know if I have permission to do that anyway, but
you could try to friend Rudy.
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably be okay with that, but I'm going to go ahead and read the question. So
wait, before you do that, I just have to say, Rudy, you post the most beautiful pictures. He lives by the beach. I'll just leave it at that. And I don't always comment on them, but they're always tremendously peaceful and beautiful. And I appreciate them. So thank you.
Yes, they are. You can check him out, by the way, at Sacred Dragon Healing Arts. And if you want to, go on his Facebook page there, he's posted recently some really nice little, personal meditations of, I would call it sort of a meditation where he's out in the nature, and they're really lovely. So
yeah, Rudy's a healer too.
Yes, he is. So check him out. So again, that was, I think I already said it, Sacred. Sorry, Rudy, I don't want to mess it up, but I did mention I would have to go back in and just look again. So, sorry, everyone. I'm just having
That's all right. I'm looking at
Dragon Healing Arts.
I think there's decahedrons behind you, right?
There's what?
the picture behind you are of decahedrons, aren't they? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Decahedrons?
Is
No,
that what it is?
it's five-sided, oh my God.
You know what? I haven't even
is
heard
10.
of that
Never
word.
mind. Deca is 10, so scratch that. All right. We're moving
Yeah, I didn't
on.
even know that existed. So yeah, so we will read his questions here. So we'll start out with this one. I keep the other flash of light in mind. So do we ever see the true face of God / source / etc., whatever you might want to call, and how would we truly know that we are seeing it, them, or they? So do we ever see the true face of God? And how would we truly know it's that, basically?
So I have to just share this first part because my guide said, first of all, we'll go back into how you will know, but they said to me, you'll know. It's like how you knew when you were going into labor. Because if you're a woman, or maybe, I don't know, you're not supposed to say that nowadays, but if you're pregnant and you're giving birth, you or before you give birth, you're always wondering, how will I know if I'm in labor? I think every person wondered that.
Yeah.
And you'll know. Oh boy, will you know. And so they said, you will know when it's the face of God, because there's no other experience like that. And you are in true, goosebumps, true and complete peace, acceptance, compassion, love, inexplicable, truly inexplicable. You can never really fully describe what the feeling is. And it doesn't, I mean, for me, has only happened a few times where I've experienced it briefly, and it's just, it's profound and inexplicable.
Exactly.
And so you cannot put words to it. You cannot, and oh, by the way, the face of God, we're going to say it's everything and everyone, and it's different for every person. You may see something that you connect to that is what you will recognize as your connection, that truly profound connection to source, okay? Or the all. When I open records, I open it for me and the all when I do these Two Psychic Mom channelings. And so we call it the all. So it's really, well, we'll see if we can gather more words while we ask Tammy's and guides what they, because there really are no words for
Yeah,
it.
exactly. No, it was beautifully said, Julie. I liked your comparison analogy of the labor and all that. So when I just open up to that as well, yes. So once you have experienced this all-knowing, is what they're saying, and it is like what has just been said. It is like a feeling that is like no other, and there are no words for it. Kind of just echoing what Julie said here. It is really, truly an incredible feeling. I have had that one time very strongly, very at the beginning of really connection. That was like, wow, did that just happen? And it was that true. Now I know what heavenly love is. Yeah. I mean, I think once you've experienced that, you truly know what that's going to feel like when we go home and we're surrounded with that unconditional love. That is just, oh my gosh. Okay, I'll try not to cry talking about it.
I know, me too.
Exactly.
Right?
It does. It's and that's what I did afterwards. I laughed. I cried when that experience happened. I looked in the mirror and said, did that just happen? I mean, it was amazing. I'd had it maybe on a little bit lower level, not as much, but since then, but not a lot. So I think again, you will know if you and if you don't feel like you've experienced that in a lifetime, don't worry about it. It's there, which leads me to the other part of what my guides were going to say is that, I mean, I think Rudy would know this. I think really all of us know that the face of God and being in that space is as easy as stepping outside into nature. And there it is. It's there. It's there for you to encompass. It's there for you to align yourself with. And that is truly the source of love and what God is and what source is. So our guides always talk about, needing to connect outside when we're really feeling like we're just too wrapped up in the day-to-day human stuff we create for ourselves, because therein lies the source of love and God and all accepting and healing. So I would say it's as simple, I will say what they're saying, it's as simple as really walking outside. And like you said too, Julie, maybe even you're aligning yourself with a particular tree, or, a particular flower, or anything like that is that connection. So let's not forget, it is that simple. And then sometimes you do have that profound experience.
It is so pure, so absent of anything negative.
Yeah.
And this immense, it's so immense that you can't capture it, right? And so I don't know about you, maybe feel this way too, Tammy. I experienced it more later, after the very first time I ever did. I wasn't doing this work then, which was another story. And I just totally got on a new train. Don't know where it went.
Okay, I wish I could bring you back there.
Let's see, where was I going with that? So profound. Oh, maybe this is it. So I have a friend, and I may have mentioned this before, that, I remember what it was. When you experience this, if you are lucky enough, if you work at it enough, you will never fear death. You just won't. I'm not going to say, look, I don't want to die alone. I want people around me. So I hope I have that choice. I'm letting you know that. But I don't fear it, because I know what's ahead, or what the possibility is. And so, and that's, in my role, pretty profound, because most people fear death. But anyway, it's I've had other people ask that. I have a friend who has asked that, if I ever experienced that, and more than once. I have to admit, it's been a few times, and they are just truly profound. And my wish for you is that all people could experience this, because I think it would change the world.
Absolutely.
But as Tammy said, and I'm so glad you said this, it may not be your destiny in a particular lifetime, in this lifetime, to experience that. And that's okay.
Yeah, no, it is. And I would say, if somebody is watching this saying, well, how, if we were to give you probably any, practical tool, lack of a better way of saying it, meditation. And the more that you practice that, and you're getting into your own space and feeling that, you have better, opportunity, we'll say, to be in that and have those kind of experiences. Yes. So once you've gotten maybe kind of good at that piece, it could happen when you're not really expecting it.
I'll be right back. Carry on.
Sure. So I was going to mention anyway that when I was at one of the other times I had that, which again wasn't on the as profound level as it was that first time, and that was during meditation, and I was asking to connect with my guides. I was sitting in front of at a beach with a wonderful Northern California, and I had just tuned into the ocean. And I think I've mentioned this before. So again, I won't go into so much detail, but okay. I had this overwhelming love come over me from all this, I call them the sea creatures, and maybe the elementals that were in the water as well. But it was just like a back at you, and it was super powerful. And I've not gotten it quite on that level as far as that experience at the beach since. I'm not saying it's not there. I do feel it when I tune in and send love and all that. But that one was one of those other ones that just kind of, just hit me. And it was lovely. So meditation's, a good way to practice that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it can happen really when you least expect it. Right, Tammy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I disappeared because I bought this book many years ago, and I'm going to gift it to my friend who wants to have the same experience of connecting to God. But I will tell you that my first experience of connecting to the all was, I was doing what's called timeline therapy, where you go back to the root of your negative emotion, and then you get the learning, and you come forward, and you kind of float out of your body as you're doing this, and then you float back in. Well, as I floated out of my body to do this, that's when I connected. And I was actually coming back from the learning. I don't want to convolute things, so look it up if you're interested. Timeline therapy. And I came back and I started to cry. And I was just like, I was telling my late partner, you cannot believe what just happened to me. I literally just met God.
Awesome.
I just met God. So
Awesome.
that was really it was very unexpected. And that was the first time. And timeline therapy is a meditation in and of itself.
Yeah,
Certainly. So, however, there's another book called Living in the Heart. And it has to do with a lot of sacred geometry. Drumbelow Melchizedek is very well known for his sacred geometry, and has written these crazy, intense books called The Flower of Life. You may have seen this rendering. Oh, thanks for that, because I couldn't find the right word. And it's a really thin book, and it actually comes with a CD. Well, it did when I bought it. I mean, that was years ago, but it comes with a CD. Wow. That he walks you through these meditations to connect with the God within,
So there you go. You got another avenue right there, maybe to help you with that. Wonderful.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't remember it, but maybe I'll listen to it before I give it to my friend, just to to
acquaint yourself with it. Yeah.
A reference for him. But so that's, maybe can I read something from it?
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, this is his ending of the book. He says, when we created the world, it was lonely being the only one, and so I made two, and then there was you. You were so beautiful with your eyes of innocence, but I loved you from afar and yet so very near. And I loved you in ways you could not comprehend. You didn't know I was watching through the eyes of every person you met. Nor could you hear my voice in the wind. You thought that the earth was just dirt and rocks. You didn't realize it was my body. When you slept, we would meet in your heart and make love with our spirits as one. We would birth new worlds with such passion. But when you were awake, you remembered nothing. You thought it was just another dream. It was just another day alone. But in your heart, I await you, my love, forever. For the truth of our love and oneness will always be. Our love is the matrix of all that is. Remember, sweet one, in your heart, I will always await thee in the place that is small. So whatever that means to you.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Lovely.
So I will just share that sometimes he writes things which I'm sure are channeled. That's what I've been told that, and that's what I'm hearing. And in the books that I couldn't possibly understand way back when, maybe I could understand them now. If you're game. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Anyway,
all
right. So is there more? Do we have more for?
Yeah. So we have kind of a second part of the question. So what messages are coming from our guides, source, or the universe when we see the magnificent flash of light? So Rudy was kind of referencing, I think, to that picture that you might be able then to be able to find on his Facebook page. I can never remember what I was thinking when these events happen. So yeah, what he's saying, I think what you're saying, Rudy, is that you're just wondering if, where you were at in your head, maybe, right, when this happened, like, was there something, really, special for you that you need a special message? So for what I get on that, okay, so what I hear is the light represents us, guides, angels, source, all the above, right? And in those moments, we know that you are vibrating with our vibration. And so you see, you are in a sense, I see where they're going with this, but they're trying to get the words they're trying to give me. You are manifesting what it is we are feeling for you and how you are connecting with us. So you see, for you, Rudy, it is validation of our love for you. When you see magnificent lights and very interesting lights and patterns, it is to get your attention, to acknowledge that we are here, we love you, we are with you. And so those are our messages, not necessarily a specific message, more validation to the love you are putting out, that you indeed are loved the same. That's what we send you. We send it many different ways. That's what we are sending you. So I would say, Rudy, that is for you, but I think that could be for many. Of course, I think it's something that, again, our guides and angels are just letting us know that these are ways that we connect with you to let you know that we're real. I do want to share something that happened to me one time with a light kind of story. Don't know if I mentioned this before, but one of the psychic fairs that we were doing there at East West. And I had an elderly couple, I was doing a reading for them. And I think it was maybe a question about health or something. But as I was talking, and this has never happened to me since then, as I was, because I talk with my hands, as you can see anyway, and then when I'm channeling, I allow my guides to use energy, and they accentuate and so forth with my hand. But I remember one action, it was either this way or that way, but this shooting light came out of my palm that I visually saw. Wow. And it was enough that I stopped. And I looked at him, the man, and I said, "Did you see that?" He said, "Yes." And it was like, whoa. I mean, that had never happened to me that way. I'm sure I know the light's there in my healings and so forth, but to make it that profound, so we could say, what was that? And if I were to tune into it, it was for them to know that this is real. They needed to know that this was real. So really, it wasn't so much for me. To me, it was just whoa, that's awesome, And for them, it was something that they were needing very, very strongly. I never got a feeling that I remember that particular reading of them feeling, doubtful about the reading. I didn't feel that. I think they were, people that kind of were open to spirituality and all that kind of good stuff. But still, there was something in that for them. So it was to let everybody know that it was working, that it was helping, that it was there. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because, I've never had that experience since. In my third eye, yes, I can close my eyes, see lights, and, if I choose to do that, but not visibly where it literally just came out of my hand chakra. It was really amazing. But yeah, anyway.
Wild stuff like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
They're saying to me, so how fun for you, they said. How fun for you.
Especially to have somebody validate it with me across the table, because the look on his face was like, what just happened?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll add on that was perfect. And it just really good validation. And they also, my guides are saying, this is, it is meant for you, Rudy, to take you out of your head and into your heart. And just a simple reminder of that. You'll see things like that all the time. And we know you do that. Again, it's validation. It's just like Tammy's guide said, it's validation.
Yeah. I keep getting the hug, like they're showing me hugs, sending that love to us.
And they're amazing. Thank you for sharing them. They are truly, they're gifts for us. So
yeah, we appreciate those questions, Rudy. Those are really good questions. I hope that was helpful for others as well. I'm sure it was, because they're really good questions. And just a reminder that our guides or angels will let us know they're around and how much they love us in every way. If you are really into numbers, we've talked about it before, you'll see number patterns. And or it could just be, I don't know, some people are thinking, oh, when I see a butterfly or insects or, of some sort, then they might come more strongly that way for you. So kind of whatever you tend to tune into or you notice, they're telling me right now, we jump on that. we go with that, because it may come other ways too, but they know then that you're paying attention to that. So, oh, she notices numbers. Oh, good. We're gonna have some fun with this.
Exactly. They will do it differently, sometimes in many different ways for many different people, because that's the way you'll see it or hear it or understand it.
Yeah.
They're amazing though.
They are.
So
They're amazing.
They're saying uniquely for you at that moment in time.
Mm-hmm. And it really was a really, really cool picture, by the way. That was really neat. Because I was going to say too, the symbols within, almost saw like symbols within that white picture. You know what I'm talking about? The symbols that looked like they were in there. So they say to you, we're not going to tell you what those are. They said, what does it mean to you? What does it say to you when you see that? They just said, what are like the first words, first thoughts that come to you when you look at any of those in there? And we make it special for you because you're special. I would say that too, but that was from them. And so, we know that you enjoy that. Again, see, they're sort of saying what we were just talking about, right? You enjoy that. So they might be showing you some more of those really cool flashes and things like that, because they know you appreciate it. It's your language. It's almost like,
Yeah. My guides just said we have a million little ways of connecting on a million different levels for you to be connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gosh, we are so not alone. We are so not alone. Really, I can't say that enough.
So I'm such a Star Wars geek. I can't help it, and in this day and age, it's all about good versus evil and blah, blah, blah. But it was Star Wars weekend, which I have I should probably get the whole set, but I have the last, of the very last Star Wars movie with Rey, where she's, the rise of Skywalker. And I know it's a movie and it's fantasy, but to watch her come into her power and to see the lightning bolts come out, and the electricity come out, I'm like, as I was watching, I thought, well, we can do that.
I know, right?
I'm not sure where that would be appropriate, but they're saying you can do that. Would be moments in time for you to do that, but it is far too much for you to handle right now as humans. You'd F it up.
Yeah, I think it would be a little, we're just not there yet. We've been there before, but where we're at now, we'll just say, yeah. But a lot of those, we've talked about that a little bit before, just touching on that, a lot of those fantasy, and we know many authors and so forth are channeling information often when they write stories, right? Especially science fiction, and not especially, maybe really all in some ways. Not saying you don't have your own gifts of writing, but you are influenced a lot, and in a good way. It's just more of what you may already have that's just being accentuated. So yeah, those stories of those things happening, alternate reality maybe right now, parallel life,
there's so much, you get glimpses of it.
Yeah,
but it is not the right time for the civilization to have those kinds of gifts, we'll call them.
Yeah, right.
It's yeah.
Fascinating.
Somebody will screw it up for the rest.
Yeah, that could be true, definitely. Well, I think that's the end of our questions for today.
And lots of resources today. So
thank you for sharing that book with us. Rudy, thank you for sharing your picture and those questions. So as always, if you have any that either spin off of what we just talked about, or any other general questions that's for the greater good, that's Bella, right?
Of course.
Sweet.
My needy
Then
little
do
girl.
send them. Oh, she's a love. Then do send them to us because we love your questions and we like to open up and see what we can get for you. So thank you everybody who's been watching. Thank you for your subscribes. If it feels good, share us with others. If you know there's somebody who, you know, is going to benefit from some of the messages we're receiving for you. So
Yeah, thank you. Oh, we forgot to say today is Tuesday, February 1st.
yes, oh yeah, happy February.
Yes,
Already. Wow.
So yeah, until next week, we're two psychic moms. You know where to find us. Since we mentioned that earlier, right? All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. See you next time.
Here, bye-bye.